So in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and actually share with you, this is actually the right screen, I'm going to go ahead and share with you how to go ahead and craft a resume to go ahead and get the attention of big tech, because if you can't get the interview in the first place, there's just no chance of you working there. So whichever company you want to go ahead and get a job at in technology, the most difficult hurdle that tech talent right now in general across the board has to go ahead and combat is to even just get a live human being to just schedule them a call. A lot of people actually don't do that bad on the interview. Obviously, there's we can all go ahead and improve, and we do have programs to go out there and help people level up. But right now, people are just getting rejected galore, and it's just because there's just such a flood, such a surplus of talent out there. And luckily for you, I've gotten people into some pretty cool companies like Venmo, Hulu, Disney, Nike recently, all of the FANG companies that you can imagine. And I think one of the tricks, if somebody's willing to go out there and entertain me, is utilizing a resume template that actually looks like a document that resembles that company. Like if you're trying to get a job at Google or an interview at Google, if you're trying to go out there and get an interview with Amazon, Airbnb, Spotify, Meta, TikTok, I have like 70 more resume templates that you guys can take full advantage of, and it's inside my school community. Click on that link. But, and this has actually worked out for people, but so many people are still looking at this very, very, very skeptical. It's cute. People have a little gag at it and stuff, but I want you guys to go ahead and think this way. Every resume right now looks the same. There's been so many people laid off across all roles in technology. So part of the hurdle, if you're following me on LinkedIn, I'm posting up just for one niche, product management, I'm posting up 40 to 50 to 70 jobs a day from hiring manager says, I'm hiring on my team. Reach out to me if you're going to join my team. You don't think these people have shit to do? Why do you think they're doing that? They're doing that because the recruiters have so many resumes to sort and sift through that they're so overwhelmed because the recruiting technology that's built to support recruiting just is total hot garbage. They're not sending any good resumes over or enough resumes over to the hiring team. And the hiring manager's like, you mean with all these layoffs, you guys can't get me better resumes than the crap that I have right now? I mean, like, how hard could it be? I'm just going to post up a message on LinkedIn, and I'm pretty sure somebody from my network can get me like 8 people by the end of the day. And then they get a flood of messages, right? When you're sending out that resume, let me tell you what having a templated resume is going to go ahead and do for you. And I could give you the GPT prompts. It's also in my school community, but I think you'd rather not waste your time doing it because that just sounds way too much like hard work. Is take advantage of my templates here. The first thing an Amazon or an Airbnb or a Spotify recruiter, when they're just going through the motions and just swiping like they're on a dating app, and we've all been there. You ever been like on Tinder and stuff and you're just like, okay. Okay, that's what we're doing here, right? What do you think a Spotify recruiter is going to say when they see this? Granted, nothing about the content's different. I mean, obviously, we can all do better on the content, the position title, and then like where you went to school didn't freaking change, right? But as soon as they see this and it's a good-looking resume, and they click on your LinkedIn and they see that it's an actual human being, they're going to be like, oh shit, they're going to have a laugh, and then they're going to be intrigued. And you know what else they're going to do? They're going to tell their coworker, yo, James, take a look at this. You believe this guy or this girl, Jane, just sent over a Spotify template with the company letterhead? Holy shit, man. You know what else you're going to do after that? Okay? You're going to have like 8, 9, 10 recruiters looking at your LinkedIn profile. And recruiters have friends in the company because they've hired the other people. And they're going to go ahead and they're not just going to reach out to one person in one department. They're going to reach out to people in like the engineering department, the design department, the customer success team, blah, blah, blah. And then those people are going to send that resume over to other people. And you know what that is going to do? Everybody's going to stop what they're doing for a second. They're going to take a look at this and they're going to be like, holy shit, this is a high quality professional for the position we're open for. And they kind of thought outside the box. And they're going to be looking they are going to be talking about your resume, because out of 900 resumes that they have to sort out just for that one role that day, probably all of that crap looked the same. And a lot of good people just get omitted. You know, you really mean to tell me that when you're on a dating app like Tinder or Hinge, you've never accidentally swiped the other way on the right person? Of course not. You know, coming from a place like where I lived in New York, is hot talent everywhere. People get omitted all the time. Okay? But they're going to be sending your resume not across just one team, but multiple teams. And they're going to stop and they're going to take a look at this shit. So internally in a company, it's going to go viral. And this is actually the kind of mindset that I really want people to have right now. Layoffs, rampant. Economy right now, volatile. Your competition is fierce. You got to think about how you're competing against the market, and you got to bring the hustle, because to be honest, everybody just looks the same. And when everybody looks the same, you know, like, it's going to be pretty hard for you to be impressed with, let's just say, like a fleet of supercars if you were lucky enough to just like if your job was just to be surrounded by athletes all the time, you probably wouldn't be like, oh, that's LeBron. Like, it's like, you saw LeBron. Like, if you worked at the Lakers, or you worked on like if you work in sports broadcasting, it's like you just see these people all the time, right? It's just like you have a bunch of hot resumes all the time. People in tech, generally speaking, they're overachievers. They went to really high quality schools. They worked at a few other name brands even before they broke into tech. So all of that shit kind of stays the same, right? And even if you didn't, a lot of these metrics can go out there and actually get fudged. But before anybody dives into any of this content, they're gonna take a look at the aesthetic of your resume. So this is to really pitch them to look at whatever's right here. And I want to challenge people to have this hustle, like that one scene. I know the majority of the people that work in tech has definitely watched The Wolf on Wall Street. Remember in the very beginning? Most people don't remember the beginning scenes compared to the ending scenes. It's like, Jordan Belfort, were you the kid that pitched a stock at your, like, at the on the interview? It's like, yeah, you know, I had to do something to go out there and stand out, and I want to give you a story right now. When I graduated from school to break into tech, I had a history degree. I was going to go to law school, and at the very last minute, a lot of people that I knew that already went to law school, and I came out of Loyola Marymount University. I think we were the top school in entertainment law in the country. And I decided I was going to go out there and try to break into tech and work in tech recruiting, which is a form of sales, right? And I knew in order for me to get that job, a lot of people had tech internships during school, and I did not. I was actually doing teacher's assistants work, which is what liberal arts students do, especially when they major in history, getting ready to go to law. School is like, you know, you're just kind of like the help for the professor doing research and stuff. The truth of the matter is, like, in order for me to get that job out of all these other alphas, I took a look at who was going to be on my interview panel that day. And I noticed that the key decision maker that day also came out from my school, and she also did a study abroad, and she did a study abroad in Florence. So before ChatGPT, this is so long ago, 10 years ago, I did a lot of research, and part of the interview was you had to pitch a tech company, and how would you sell that tech company to me? Tell me what it is that they do, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be other managers there, but there was a very specific team that I wanted to go to, and I wanted to go to the top performing team, her team, and I knew I had to go out there and completely stand out and crush it. And I chose this company. It was called Redgate Software. It was a company that a lot of people never heard of. I'd never even heard of it. That's based in the UK. It's a tech product. And on top of that, it matched up because, like, I did a lot of research to try to find a tech company that was going to be unique enough. When people saw the presentation, they were like, what the hell's Redgate? I mean, this guy's definitely not going to get the job, right? And I was like, you know, the reason why I chose it was because, like, you know, one of the co-founders chose it named Redgate Street after Via Porta Rosa, which means Redgate Street in Italian, in Florence, Italy, where he used to live. And she's like, I studied in Florence. I had the most amazing time in Florence. Oh my gosh. What did they do? And I massacred those other people. You know, You got to do things to stand out. There's so much qualified talent right now. You really, if you want the best jobs, you have to sound different because everybody's coming out there saying, I can do the job. I did it for that other company. Or if I haven't done it before, people are saying like, I will work really, really, really hard. You got to figure out these little things, and you got to be willing to kind of push through and to kind of like get out of your comfort zone a little bit, because if you don't take risk, it's really hard to stand out and be safe, right? If you actually did this, like be the person that's going to be like, actually manifest it for yourself. Imagine Elon saying, were you the guy that used the Tesla letterhead for your resume on the interview? Oh my gosh, yeah. Everybody was talking about it, and I was like, if you sent this thing in there, imagine how many people would be just floating this resume around, right? Because how many people would actually do it? I have so many people that actually they would get access to this resume template, and they're still thinking, like, your resume right now is working out wonders for you. It's what, you're getting too many interviews? Your resume is looking that hot? No, it's not. So try to be different. And honestly speaking, it's just like, the chances of you, like if you used your regular resume, what was your chances of, what would you base the percentage of you getting an interview at these companies at, right? Go out there, be different. Even if you get rejected at these companies, I recently had 4 people that got rejected from a top tier tech company, a big tech company. They sent out another resume with the company letterhead. They didn't even realize it was the same person. Maybe because I think two of them had really common names. Ended up getting the interview, and now they're in the final rounds. You're always remember this, always just one application, one interview away from your next job. When you go on job hunting, you never really realize the place that you always end up getting a job at is just like, you went in there, you do a bunch of applications, and then you're on interviews galore, and then you pretty much just phase out, right? This is like just for any job you're going after. And then it's just like, holy shit, like, yeah, you want to make me an offer? You're like, okay. Same thing with like dating. You just go through the motions, you swipe. There's a time when you're just like heads down, going on dates, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I guess I'm in a relationship with this person for the next few years, right? It's the same thing. Go out there, dare to be different, put yourself out there on a high. And somebody that dares to be different shows that they are willing to take risks. People that are willing to take risks means that they have options. People that have options are in demand. And people that are in demand is high quality talent. And high quality talent is what companies want to hire. People that play it safe are playing because they're playing it scared. They're playing it scared because they have no options. They have no options because if you have no options, you're either really good at what you do and you don't know how to market yourself, in which case you're kind of like also having no options. But also, you might just have no options because you're really bad at what you do. Regardless, you're desperate. You're needy. So even if we're going to hire you, we're going to give you a lowball offer, because when companies sense weakness, they will go ahead and exploit you. Everybody that I've ever coached in the job hunting world for tech, the first offer was okay. The second offer gets better. The third offer gets way better. The fourth, fifth offer gets really good. You want to know why? Confidence. Confidence equals big offers. You want big offers, get multiple offers. You have multiple offers, you get better, you make more money. Okay, reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want access to these templates. The school link in the description. Let me know what other resources my team and I know everybody here is busy. People are job hunting with kids. Get into school. Tell me what resources my team and I can create for you. I'm here for y'all. I want you guys to get jobs and to build your own brand and to start side hustling, because you have to have multiple income streams if you're working in tech coming up the next 3 years with how fast AI is moving. So see you in school. Don't be late to school.